Welcome back to the OTB podcast, the original and still the best New Zealand mountain bike podcast, brought to you by Maxxis Tyres and Fox Suspension. Leading the game out there, but today, one of our Kiwi boys that's leading the game for us out there, and good to have a quick mid-season catch-up with him, Lachie Stevens-Mcnab. Welcome back, mate.
Cheers, KB. Glad to be here, mate.
Yeah, what's been going on? You're on, Euro summer break, but you're back here in the winter.
Yeah, and nowhere I'd rather be, really. Unreal every time I come back in winter, like especially here. It's just the riding's still good and moto, like, just the way of life here is pretty mean. So
yeah, especially when you're a professional athlete too, makes it even better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. To be fair, all my mates said I've got to get up and go to work every day in the cold. All my old man and stuff. It's like, yeah, pretty glad I don't have to do that.
Yeah, is Steve still giving you grief for sitting on the couch?
He's alright.
He's come around to it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's good. So I saw you've been riding the dirt bike. It's been a nice little treat after a few months of downhill bike.
Yeah, it was just like fitness wise, it's so good, full body, I reckon. Like it gets you pretty strong, and yeah, it's just fun, really. Like it's so nice to come home, and everyone's kind of like, "Oh, you're gonna go on holiday or like chill out," but kind of it's the being home that is chilling out, Like
yeah,
it's
a holiday anyway, even while you're training.
Exactly, yeah. So it's just, and fuck, it's pretty hard to call motorbike training. Like my coach has moto in my thing once a week as a training day, and it's like,
awesome. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so it's like it's hard to call it training, but it's good fun, and we got a good crew of us that go out every weekend, even like from all my mates, and then we go riding with my old man and Hendy as well. So
nice. Yeah, I went out for a ride with Hendy when I was in Rotorua a couple of weeks ago, and he said you guys have been out riding dirt bikes. So it sounds like a good time up there.
No, it's unreal.
Right, so back into the racing side of things. How's the season been so far? I mean, that's a pretty vague question, I know, but in your words, how's it feeling?
I'd say it's not like it's, to be honest, bro, it's like been pretty average from what I've wanted. Like there's been a lot of shit where it's just like couldn't believe. Like I've had a fair few pretty shit weekends. And it's like stuff that shouldn't really be happening, but it's just, yeah. So like on a whole, I'd say it's been pretty average. But then 2 top 5s and sitting 10th in the overall, which is like the best yet. So
yeah,
it's better.
You've had a couple of, like, obviously those 2 races where it's really clicked at Legang and Latour, like 2 fourths is awesome. But yeah, I could imagine that, a couple of missed finals is pretty like devastating for how you felt the season would be going.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just with the new how this Q1, Q2 thing is, it's like pretty, it's a big change. And the intensity's real gnarly. Like you can't, I feel like last year it was, you could build into the weekend more. And it's like the thing I've been struggling with is like with myself, I've got no doubt that I have the pace come race day.
Yeah.
But I like to build in a bit more. And then there's people out there that just wide open from the get-go. And so that's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works, really. So it's just getting the intensity up higher, but then earlier. But yeah, and then obviously, the 2 missed finals is pretty gutting. Val de Sol was a shit weekend as a whole. Like, hurt myself, crashed in Q1, big crash in Q2. Like, just the weekend was a write-off.
Yeah, just one of those ones that didn't go well from the start.
Yeah. Like, blowing stuff up on the bike, missed practice. Like, yeah, just as a whole, it was just
Yeah.
bad. It was just one of those ones. But and then yeah, so and then like as the races have gone on, I've started to get better at the qualifying. Like Andorra is probably the track I least look forward to.
Yeah, straight in with a fourth in Q1 at there. So
Yeah, so it's getting better, and for it's but it's like really what I mean by getting better is like I can be half a second quicker or a second quicker quality
it's
time. You know,
insanely tight.
yeah,
It's just like it's crazy how close that top 20 is making it out of Q1. Like it's
yeah,
crazy. There's nothing. Like one looks like one little mistake and that's it. Like all it needs to be.
oh for sure. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you got to be pretty much Q1's a race run now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
And
like yeah,
I think from like the fans' point of view, for me, watching from the outside, the new qualifying has made it quite exciting because it's almost like Q2 is almost the real highlight one of seeing like who's going to snap up those last few spots to make it in. But I could imagine from the racing point of view, you're like, fuck, this is a lot of stress. Like it's definitely changed the game, I think, a lot this year, probably more than the average fan realizes.
yeah. No, definitely. Like even the risk each weekend now is way more because
Yeah.
it's just back to the same thing. Like because you are going faster earlier when you've done less practice and but you haven't pushed that hard that you would be in race day that last year. It's yeah, like there's been a fair few injuries already, I think,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there'll be more.
I mean, it's
Um,
easy to see how challenging the new qualifying format is as well, with the fact of like, is there maybe one person in elite men? I think maybe Loick's the only person that's made it through every Q1 or something like that. Like it's yeah,
yeah,
like that
yeah,
attrition rate is huge. The fact that there's like I think one person that's made every Q1, that's crazy.
yeah, good old Bernie, eh?
Yeah, super Bruni. We'll jump back to the start though at Poland, and you were straight in with a sixth in qualifying there, and obviously that was kind of like your breakout ride last year. And was that just a like come start of the season feeling good, back into it, like you've done well there?
Yeah, a little bit, but that, and then also it was to do with the track. Like the track was so hard,
Yeah,
and that's why there was that separation that there was. Like I wasn't super far off, but there was bigger gaps in the top 20 compared to what there were after that.
yeah,
Like with how it was raining, the track got real gnarly. Well, it rained, got real cut up, and then started drying, and it's so hard to ride in those
yeah,
conditions. So like, I come down, I didn't think my run was that great, and then I was sixth, and Ollie Davis, he come down, he thought his run was shit, and he was second, like right there with Bruni, you know.
yeah,
So it was like, it was a little bit just how the track was, and I think um a fair few people got caught off guard. Just not too sure why, but first race back, and I mean, you saw Emery had a nightmare in Q1,
yeah,
which you'd never expect.
yeah.
But
And that whole new qualifying format as well, again, probably kind of threw people for a bit of a loop, just not being fully in tune with it, obviously yet. Like first round, it's a pretty big change, especially for those guys who have been protected in the past, like coming into round one, relatively stress free,
yeah,
so to speak. Like
yeah,
so,
no, for sure. Yeah, that was pretty crazy when we finished Q1, and you saw there was like 12 or 13 World Cup winners
yeah,
in Q2. You know, it's like
yeah,
outrageous. But yeah, so yeah, Poland, it was that was pretty good, and I felt really good for racing, to be honest. Like in those conditions, I think I'm quite good in.
Yeah.
And yeah, I felt pretty good, and yeah, that was a shit one. It was just like not
You
really too
looked
sure what else I could have
you
done.
looked so good at the start though. Like you were, obviously the run didn't go for that long for you, unfortunately, before you crashed.
Yeah,
But it's like you started that run like looking really on form, which
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It was kind of. I felt really good, to be honest. I think that would have been a good result. Um, whatever it would have been, it's easy to say
yeah,
that, but yeah, I just come into there's like a slight right through trees, and it's like a rut to a lip, and there's just a rock sitting in the rut, and I don't really know. It happened so fast. I think I like saw the rock, freaked out, tried to go inside it, and then that's when I tried to go inside, slipped into the rut, and that's what spat me.
yeah. Because you kind of got ejected out like to the side. It was like pretty instant, kind of just out of nowhere. Like you just all of a sudden were heading left when you should have been kind of going straight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I tried to like go back and see exactly what I did, but it's either I didn't get inside and I hit the rock, sorry, and that's what spat me. Or the only other thing is that like it was a bit off camber there on the inside. Like
Yeah.
everyone was hitting the same rut. There's no other
Mm.
line. And I just tried to get inside it and just slipped, and it just slid out, and then as soon as it hit the rut, it just kind of spat me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was all good from there. It was um just annoying, really.
Just pissed off.
Yeah.
Does that fuel you up, like when you have a race like that? Does that kind of go into the next round? Are you using that as your motivation almost? Like, what is it?
Uh,
I know some
yeah.
people that sort of stuff will weigh on them, or like
Nah,
kind of
nah, it doesn't weigh on me. I'd say yeah, it definitely fires me up, but also I feel pretty fired up anyway,
yeah.
to be honest.
I don't know
But
if
it's
you've got
just
much shortage of that.
no, it's just like pisses you off, just like fuck another lost opportunity, like,
Yeah.
and it makes me like, and we've got 10 races this year,
Mm.
and then I'm like, last year we only had 6 World Cups. We've already done that already.
Isn't that crazy that like the
Yeah,
season would have already been done? It's
yeah,
insane, and we're only halfway through.
yeah, exactly. So like, I'm glad that there's way more racing
Yeah.
because, but it's just like, yeah, you don't, you can't get that World Cup back, So
Yeah.
it's frustrating in that sense, but it's just, I mean, at the end of the day, got a pretty cool gig to race the bike. So
Yeah,
that
and
doesn't wow me.
I think like this year as well. I mean, you're not the only person that's been having like there's a countless number of guys who have been kind of like up down. There's guys who you would expect to be doing well who have had like pretty rough seasons already. Like at least you've had a couple of solid ones in there. Like your speed is clearly there, but it's just been a few ups and downs, kind of taking it out, which is unfortunate. But moving on to Ludenville, so you didn't make it through on that one, but
No.
that looked like a bad one because it was a 51st in semi-finals. Was
Yeah,
it a
yeah,
crash
that
or
was
something there?
yeah, he crashed in Q2, yeah.
Yeah,
Q1 I just wasn't fast enough. Like it was
but wasn't you were 24th in Q1? So it's like again,
yeah,
it's not even like you were going like you weren't 40th or anything, but just getting to that point, it's so tight.
yeah. Yeah, right on that bubble, it's just so close. So yeah, that was just, and to be honest, I really didn't like that track. We'd never seen it. I think like years before it'd been wet
Yeah,
and like a little bit to it. So you kind of, the track was hard, it was a bit slower. And this year it was just like dry, dusty, and so fast. Like,
it was dangerously fast.
yeah, too far. Like just nothing, no, no, not really any turns. Like you just straight to a corner, to a straight, to a corner, like, you know. Um, and like I kind of, I'm pretty careful now with how I'm riding. Like I assess my risks, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
and
maturity coming in.
so I like wasn't trying to. It was pretty loose. I was just trying to ride still, you know, good. Like you saw that junior kid that won.
Yeah,
His run was outrageous. Like
yeah. That was
good
one
on
of the
him.
one of the most entertaining runs of the weekend, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It was out the gate, but it's just like it's not how I ride, and I feel like
Yeah,
for that kind of track, that was how you kind of ride. So yeah, I was just too slow in Q1, which is fuck all off. But and then Q2 I just on all good pace again, but yeah, just crashed, just stuck front. Like all the crashes this year, they've all been the same, tucking of the front pretty much, you
yeah.
know, just like slight mistakes and ends
Front
the
end
weekend.
goes on you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't take much, but
no,
but unweighting in the wrong place.
yeah,
Then, so we won't dwell on that one. We'll head on into Leogang, which was a fourth, which you got third at Leogang last year. So, what is it about that place that works? You know, like something obviously clicks there for you.
yeah. I don't know. I think it's just yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's my favorite place. You know, like track's all good. I would say it's not even my type of track, just in what I like to ride, and it's pretty one line,
Yeah,
um, straightforward. But it's a good track, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's the woods. I mean, I'm all good on the motorway, the BMX background.
yeah. That's
Um,
what I was thinking. I was wondering if it was kind of some of that. Like, I mean, obviously the motorway is not the make or break section, but I think a lot of that track still has that bike park kind of feel to it up the top, at least. Anyway,
yeah,
you
no,
know
for sure.
where
Yeah,
where that
it's
BMX background would help.
yeah, it's like definitely one of the more bike park tracks. And so yeah, I'd say yeah, the BMX background probably helps. But then the woods is kind of, I think when you get into woods like that, even though the dirt's different and stuff, it's a little bit similar to Rotorua. Like
Yeah,
how I think the good thing about here is you get so used to going fast, so close to trees.
yeah. That's
Like it's all quite tight,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. You definitely have to be comfortable with that in Rotorua to be at pace, like just skimming past them. So if that's kind of similar, looks like similar vibe in the bottom of there, so it makes sense.
A little bit. Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you what happens there really, but it's a nice like fuck. I like the view.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. I
Attitude's
went
good.
there 6 years ago to watch, and it was yeah, it's a cool place to go to,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the most exciting to go and watch, to be completely honest.
Nah.
And it's probably my least favorite track to watch in terms of on like TV as well. It's like feels like so much of it is just dominated by this long section of motorway, which doesn't really provide anything interesting.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Yeah. It's yeah. It's a weird one. Like because yeah, it's so hard to get it so right. Really. Like I saw some stats from my coach. I'll probably get this wrong, but like how close the times were. They were so tight. But if you were to put it in sectors, like the sector margins were so big. Like for example,
Yeah.
um,
So no
Jackson
one
and Lewitt.
was laying down like a top to bottom run. You mean like
No,
someone
yeah,
would be
exactly.
really fast in one place and kind of average in another or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Like Lewitt and Jackson were 0.0 something apart, you know. But there was like a sector where Bruni was a second and a half quicker than Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
interesting.
how do you have so much time difference in sectors, but then you still end up nothing apart, you know? So
Yeah.
that was interesting, really.
I always find that quite interesting. I think it's Pink Bike that usually have that kind of in their results, and it'll be, it'll show like the perfect run, like fastest, whoever was fastest at whatever sector. It's always interesting to see like how much faster that perfect run is than what the race time is.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
some people that are just absolutely excelling on one place, and then, but they'll win a sector, but they'll be 10th or whatever. They've just absolutely smashed one section of track.
yeah.
We won't dwell on Val de Sol. You've already told us how that weekend
Yeah.
works. I don't want to make you relive that one. But then,
No, that's right.
how was Latuelle? That looked, from a spectator point of view, that looked awesome. It looked like a sick track.
It was unreal. Like first you walked it and you were just couldn't wait to couldn't just wanted to go to sleep. So you wake up and ride.
Get practice going.
Yeah, so they did a pretty mean job on that track. Like it was definitely loose. It's just whenever it's dry, it just gets so loose.
Yeah.
But that track was unreal, and it was just didn't stop top to bottom.
No,
But
it
then
looked so physical.
yeah. But it was super long, but then also you were like, oh shit, I'm here already. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty fast, and just it wasn't like one of those tracks where it was like a bit of a, like say Fort William, where it's a bit of like almost like a grind for a
Yeah.
race run.
You get out of
Yeah,
those trees at the bottom at Fort William and you're like, fuck. Like, you just got that
yeah,
motorway steering ahead of you.
yeah. Whereas like here, it was like the track just didn't stop, but it was so good the whole way down.
Yeah.
It was like six section after six section after six section, and there was nowhere really to be like in Leogang, the motorway. You
Mm.
kind of get a reset and you like gather yourself for the woods. There was nowhere like that.
Yeah. You just looked like you were dropping the whole way. Well, they
Yeah,
did tell us about 85 times on the broadcast that it was the steepest track in World Cup history. So
yeah,
we
right.
we heard that plenty of times. But
Yeah,
it
everyone knows.
yeah, it looked awesome, and it looked like it had quite a bit of like, not, I don't know if terrain's the right word because it was pretty steep the whole way down, but like variation in the track. Like it wasn't all the same either. You get some tracks
Yeah,
and they kind of look real similar the whole way down, whereas that changed a lot. Like had different looking turns in places, and a lot like different lines through turns where you kind of looked like there shouldn't be, and so it was pretty sick to watch.
yeah. Well, it was definitely a good mix of like they had that whole section in the middle that was like digger built,
Yeah,
massive wide berms and rollers and stuff. But it was like a good mix of it all. Um, I honestly didn't really have anything bad to say about it at all. There's
yeah,
always, people always
yeah,
complain about something.
yeah.
Um,
There'll always be a complaint somewhere.
but like I didn't even hear. I don't think I heard any complaints that week because Matt Walker. He goes to like the rider.
Oh yeah,
Um, I don't even know what it's called, like
yeah.
the
Like
union
the
rider
yeah
union
the yeah.
meetings
I
that
know what
they
you
have
mean.
with the youth with the Warner Brothers like track guys
Yeah,
and discussing issues or changes they want made and stuff. And I think they slightly moved a pad because they put it there, uh, or something like that.
yeah,
No, I think everyone was pretty happy. But yeah, once it got to racing, track was cooked. I don't think I've
yeah.
ever ridden holes that big.
Beat it up. Yeah,
Yeah, just like the dirt, how the dirt was. It was the sickest loam ever in the trees,
yeah,
and then yeah, it just ripped up. So yeah, by the time everyone had done 2.5 days on it, you were having to
yeah,
find different lines. But I think that's kind of how the track should be, like actually hard to ride, and you've got to think, and it's not just like a bobsled.
yeah, yeah. I agree. It's definitely interesting when you see guys, like, it doesn't feel like it happens that often anymore. And I think, there's so many people from teams watching lines and stuff like that. But it's so cool when you see someone just kind of completely off main line doing something different. Like I love to see that stuff, and it's cool, I guess, when it gets beaten up like that it actually encourages that as well, because the main line's probably just smashed to pieces by that point.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, that one with your 2/4, has that been with the change in the podiums? Has that been a bit bittersweet? In fact, you're like, fuck, like so close, but last year I would have been on there.
Yeah, a little bit. Like it's just kind of I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. Like, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's just a bit like takes away. I don't know. It's you can look at it either way. Like a fourth shouldn't be looked at it as a podium, or it was, so now it's taken away. Like how good a fourth is,
I think
And
for the history of like downhill and mountain biking in general, it's like we've just always had a 5-person podium, so it's kind of weird. It would be like a 3-person podium sport, just being like, oh, we're actually only just going to put the winner up here now, like
yeah.
just taking away those spots.
Well, yeah, it's just like I'd always seen when I used to watch when I was a kid. That's what you'd watch,
Mm.
and like heaps of like I'm sure there's people out there, like top dogs out there, their first podium would have been a fourth or fifth,
Oh yeah, so many.
and so it's like it's a bit shit. And there's always a bit of a we should just go get up there.
I
But
did like the XC races did that at the first World Cup. That was pretty good.
yeah. But I don't know. I don't want to be the one to do it. I feel like everyone's got to be keen on it.
It's a bummer for that one because it's like would have been you and Henry Kiefer. It's like two of the younger guys, although Jackson's the same age, but it's like Jackson's was on his fucking 4th win in a row at that point, so it's like he's a bit of a freak. But it's like for you guys, like that would have been sick, standing up there with Loris, world champ, like Loic, multi, one of the greatest to ever do it. It's like that's a pretty cool podium to stand up next to those guys up there.
No, for sure. So yeah, just got to get up another step. I just got to get up a couple more paces there.
And then last round we had for the break, Andorra. Were you inside or outside that marker? It was hard to tell. Obviously, you erred on the side of caution.
I thought I was inside it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like my front wheel. But it was so like, it's real blind. So basically, you coming out of that corner, you go up, and the main line was so cooked now that a lot of us had changed this real hard inside. It's like wiggle through these rocks.
Yeah.
And it was that woot pad that they put there, it would come over and you literally can't see the track marking. And it's like that's not the reason why it happened, like I'd ridden practice 3 or 4 laps of doing the line and I'd done it fine. But it's just like because I was slightly offline and when I hit it, I didn't see me go to the left of it, but I just because it was so blind, like I feel like if you miss something, you see it because you see yourself coming before it that you're gonna miss it.
Yeah.
But it was just like it was blind, and then I hit it, and I was just like, and so like as soon as that thought crossed my mind, I was just like, for me that was just I don't want to get to the bottom and then get disqualified and like be thought. Well, I don't know. It's not even thought, but for me, I don't want to push on and try get a result if I think that not that I
potentially,
cheated,
but potentially gone out of the course marking. Yeah, I get what you mean. It's and there's the challenge because if you keep pushing on and you've got that weighing on your mind, you're not 100% focused either. Like you're probably still thinking like, fuck, should I have stopped? Should I have? Yeah. So, but it's amazing how all that can go through your head, and that's probably like the 10th of a second, because you were basically straight on the brakes, turned around. So,
yeah. Well, I remember the thought of like, what, like, did I miss it? do I stop? Do I go? And then as soon as it was like, do I stop or do I go? It's kind of like it kind of like felt like a moment where it was like, do you want to cheat and get away with it or
Mm,
not? You know?
yeah.
And it's like, oh no, I'd rather rather not. Just and maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I think my brother was telling me about a podcast that was talking about it, and they were well, a lot of people said to me they were like, you should have just kept going. You would have been fine. You would have got away with it. But yeah, it's like you said too. It's like as soon as that thoughts cross your mind, your run's probably not going to be as good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was seen like, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the marking, like the new markers. I think purely because it is, like you can push so much closer to the edge of the track than you do when there's race tape down it. Like when there's race tape, you generally have to stay, a little bit away from it because you're at risk of it getting tangled in your handlebars or whatever, which brings its own flaws. But it's like when you're relying on I don't know how high they are, like 150 mil high marker or whatever, that, like you say, comes out of over a blind crest or whatever. Like, man, it makes it real marginal. It's a real tough one in those situations, and it's obviously pushing the race lines closer and closer to the edge of the track than we've ever seen as well.
Yeah, oh for sure. Like there's so many times where you're hitting, you're literally riding over the edge of it pretty much,
Yeah,
like smacking your feet on it. Um, and it's not really well with the course markers that they have at the moment. It's not super like easy to see the track sometimes as well. Like
mm,
you saw that thing with Amory in Poland.
yeah,
It's not clear what is a beeline, what's the track, like Amory didn't do that on purpose. He would have genuinely thought that was a beeline, because
yeah,
even when there is a beeline, they still have the marker at the top of the jump.
yeah. You just have markers kind of going off everywhere from it, so it's
Yeah,
just
so
like adds
it's
to the confusion.
yeah. So it's just like they need to get well, it needs to become more clear on the
Mm,
side of the track. But that wasn't the case with me. The case with me, that was clear where to go. It was
yeah,
just,
yeah. You were just
but
right on the limits of the track, obviously.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a bummer, but like you say, I guess you're still, a 10th place in the overall is not a bad place to be sitting still, and yeah, kind of a pretty pretty solid spot to be mid-season. But
yeah. I mean,
it's
that's the thing is like it's so I don't know. I feel like everyone is their own biggest critic.
yeah, that's just what being an
Um,
athlete is, right? It's like you're always
yeah,
striving.
exactly. So it's just like, yeah, that definitely hasn't been what I wanted it to be this start of the season. And to be honest, in my thoughts, it's been pretty average. Like, yeah, there's been some good results, but like, there's
Yeah,
been a lot of averageness from me. Um, so yeah, in that case, to be 10th in the overall, I think I'm pretty happy with. But it's just like a good thought for me to be like, okay, if I can actually get my shit together, you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and get it done, then I could probably be further up.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Uh,
it's not like you've been short on, like you've had a sixth in Q1, a fourth in Q1, two fourths in finals. So the speed's not an issue at all. It's obviously just, yeah, kind of tying everything together and cleaning up some of those mistakes.
yeah, no, for sure.
What's you went on from last year, obviously with the union. You guys were like the underdog privateer team. Pretty low key, minimal staff, and doing it the privateer way, really, to potentially one of the biggest teams in the pits. How's that change been? I mean, you've stayed on the same bikes, but I imagine it's been a pretty significant change in terms of staff and support and everything like that.
Definitely, like um, the amount of people that are there for you and anything,
Yeah.
is pretty out of the gate. But then also like um, to give Joe and Rose credit, like how they ran the union of what they had and Rose was doing the jobs of 7 people,
Yeah.
and like organizing, or if she couldn't do it, she's organized someone to do it for me, or if it was to see a physio or anything, like Rose was out the gate with what she did. So, um, it was like the small, low key privateer team, but how they ran that, like how Joe ran that and how Rose ran it, it was like honestly as dialed as a factory team would be.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, it's just like now it's like the access I have to parts, what I want to try with obviously this new bikes. Well, we got a new bike.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions, is how big of a change has that new bike been? I mean, it's same platform, but obviously a lot of stuff going on in terms of being able to change pivot points and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, it's been pretty cool to have the opportunity to almost like develop a bike, because no one else has ridden it,
Yeah.
like we are. It's a bit hard, I think, to be developing a bike while you're racing it as well. But it's not the bike's not way different.
Yeah.
It's but it definitely doesn't ride the same.
Yeah, interesting. How much are you changing it around, like week to week, or like with those pivot points, or are you you've found a spot that's pretty dialed and you've got like a pretty good base?
I started off when I first got on it, I loved low.
Yeah.
Like and as soon as I got so I ran that all New Zealand season, all coming up. And as soon as I got to Poland, I was like, I can't ride the bike. It was so weird. Like I was just
That's crazy.
and so yeah, I'm on high now, and I don't think I'll go back. Just as
It's
soon as you get to a World Cup and the tracks are that rough and fast, I think a bit of stability is pretty good.
Yeah, you reckon that's the biggest change just out of New Zealand? Like, I mean, obviously our tracks in New Zealand, they're nothing like a World Cup track, and they don't develop anything like a World Cup track either. So that's interesting that you went from one extreme to the other in terms of like low to high on it.
Yeah. But like now, I'm not changing much weekend to weekend. I'm definitely struggling a bit with the bike, but I think it's like a me problem, to be honest, because Matt's not struggling and stuff. So we're trying to work through that, but like the main stuff of the bike, um, I'm staying in the high pivot position. I'm either in the most linear or the middle version, and that's not a massive change. That might be like a 3% change. Well, that is a 3% change. Um, and what else can you change on it? Low, high on the minnow link, but I'm always in low.
Yeah.
So I'm not changing much stuff with the frame now, but I'm just playing around with some reach stuff, and I've been like, because I've been struggling so hard, like the SRAM boys have been helping out heaps.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty cool having those guys like in your corner. They'd be pretty dialed.
They're legends. Like the work that they do, constantly rebuilding shocks, just trying to find what I'm looking for.
And you're running the flight attendant stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I got that back in Tennessee, and that was like
start of the season.
Yeah. Bit of a learning, but really it's pretty simple.
Yeah. Does it all for you. That's the whole idea of it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it's interesting. What size frame, or like what's the reach you were running? Have you gone like a longer bike or a shorter bike or than what you used to?
I've gone a bit longer, but I'm currently trying to come shorter again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I don't get myself in trouble.
No. Don't
The
don't say anything you don't need
no,
to.
no. Yeah, I'm just trying to go shorter, like,
Yeah,
um, but because I've been riding the longer frame for so long,
takes a wee bit to get
there's
used
been
to.
a, well, yeah, but then there's been a lack of shorter frames. So I've stolen
Yeah,
one of
cool.
Sasha's. I've stolen Sasha's spare frame. So
Yeah,
I think, but now there's
yeah.
all getting sorted. And so I've just been actually today. I was just riding, did a frame swap, just trying to back to back then to
Yeah.
the stuff
Um,
out.
you bought your mechanic over from the union, didn't you?
Yeah, old Joshy,
Yeah, that's sick. So
good
is
fella.
where's he from? He's from the UK, is he?
Yeah, he's from this
Yeah.
place called Halls, like in Yorkshire,
Yeah.
middle of nowhere, I think. Like his town's got maybe like 1,000 people, but he's a G.
That's that's awesome. That's cool
And
to bring someone like that with you that you've had in your in your camp
yeah,
already.
well, just for me, like he works so hard. Like last year, like just above and beyond, always doing stuff he didn't need to do. Um, and that's who I want, you know, to work
Yeah.
with. And it's not, it's like a big team effort, like Josh puts so much effort in. It's like it's time away from his family too.
Yeah.
Like he's coming out early when I go back so that we can do some stuff. And like pretty lucky that he does what he does for me, because really, well, he does that for. But
Yeah.
like, um he wants to, and I think,
Yeah.
um that's a big thing, whether like you do it because you have to or you do it because you want to. And there's always like you get that, I think you get that extra little bit, whether it's ideas or, if someone doesn't really want to be there, they're not gonna, you can,
Put the
it's
effort.
gonna take,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, it's gonna take harder, it's gonna take longer to figure stuff out.
The mechanics are the unsung heroes as well. It's like the amount of hours that they put in. Just I don't know whether your team guys stay at the pits, but it's like I did one of these with Aaron Peltari, who was Troy's mechanic for years, and he was breaking down, the fact that basically he got to the race and didn't leave the pits for the whole weekend. It was like they slept in the truck, they got up, did everything for practice, rebuilt the bikes back to the truck that they were already standing outside of. So it's crazy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. They putting in big hours those weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Massive. Um, yeah, so bike obviously, yeah, sounds like you're heading in a good way. I was going to ask you what if you were working on anything bike wise before the next round, but you've already talked about that because you're going slightly shorter. But I think yourself sounds like you're on pace as well. So it's kind of probably just been a nice bit of a decompress from the World Cups while you've been home. Nothing too much to really focus on.
Yeah, really, like it's I've been up to fuck all, and it's been
That's probably
nice.
it.
Like,
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be perfect.
yeah, like we just moved houses, so um, we got like a bit of land and stuff. So I've been like riding motor on the weekends, but then we've got a couple paddocks out front, like that. It's been ripping the motor around. Got a rut track in it. Like, yeah, I've just been. It's like I've been on holiday, really. You know,
Yeah.
still do my training, go for a road ride, go to the gym, go for a trail ride. But it's like you train maybe 4 hours a day,
Yeah.
and then yeah, just
Plenty of hours to
been
hang out.
yeah. I've been trying to clue myself up on investing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's in a bit of spare time.
Yeah.
Might get a big computer set up, start day trading or something.
Jeez. You might
Nah,
you'll be just a loaded day trader before we know it. You'll be taking up a new career.
nah. It's I like the bike riding, really. I don't want to
Yeah.
sit at a computer all day and just watch it and just
No. No, you've got a pretty good job, I think. It's a pretty good one
yeah,
to keep at for a while.
yeah, shit, yeah.
You've obviously had no shortage of Kiwi teammates with like Ali in the past and that, but it's obviously must be good having Sasha, just having a Kiwi there in the pits as well. Like, can get pretty tedious when you're just hanging out with a bunch of foreigners. I just don't think they get us sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, sometimes they struggle to get. Well, they don't struggle to get like my humor, but it's when Sasha's there, she gets it, you know.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. Everyone's pretty good. Like, I can say whatever I want, and
Yeah.
there's
No one
no
gets
people getting
upset.
offended. Yeah, and they all say whatever they want to. So there's good.
Yeah.
There's some good chat flying around the pit.
Now, when I caught up with Sasha last week, we did an episode, and yeah, I mean, I was saying to her, it must be nice, kind of having what I guess is predominantly a English speaking team. So, like, it's got to be rough. Like, I know guys in the past have ended up on basically like full French teams, and they're sitting there while the rest of the team's speaking French, and they're just like sick. I don't know what's going on. Like, just hanging out in the corner on their own.
Yeah, I can't see that being too fun, to be honest. Yeah,
No.
like everyone speaks English, and we got a German, Swissy, but like, yeah, we're all and everyone's good sorts, you know.
Did you
I
know
would,
how much of a freeride legend Andrew Chandro was before you joined the team?
nah,
He's probably, I was going to say, he's
to be
probably too
honest.
old for you because he was like, yeah, he was a legend when I was just racing. So,
Yeah, he's bloody pushing 60.
yeah. Is he still ripped though?
So yeah, he actually does. I think he definitely holds back a bit now though.
Yeah,
You know,
fair
he's like,
enough.
shit, he's old.
Can't,
Don't heal.
can't keep up with these guys in their 20s
Yeah,
anymore.
nah. But to be fair, when we were riding down our race day in Lunaville, we were just on the side of the track watching with him, and he all dropped us on the way down. It was like a gnarly little, like the walking track next to the track was all steep.
Yeah,
We couldn't keep up with it. We couldn't keep up with old Shandy. So
sending it.
he goes hard.
Yeah. So when you're heading back over in a week, where do you go to? Are you into like Morzine or something prior to
Yeah,
Leger?
yeah, just more than
Yeah, it's
and
the classic spot.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully they haven't shut off all the plenty loaners.
Put the close signs up. What?
Yeah, apparently they're um like fining you if you're caught riding them
Oh,
now.
what?
Yeah,
That's a
police
step
are
too far.
patrolling.
Oh man, fun police are out.
Yeah, I'm sure they need something to police up in the mountains. I don't think too much bad goes on.
Nah, nah. A few drunk English people running around at night, but that's probably about it.
Yeah, yeah.
What race are you looking forward to the most? Closing out the season, we've got Leger, Champrix, a couple of rounds in the US. Well, US and Canada.
It's hard. It's hard to say, really. I'd say there's not any I'm not looking forward to. You know, I think the second half of the season, track wise, I'm looking forward to more than the first half.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't know. Probably Mont Saint Anne, to be honest. After last year, um,
yeah,
and it's just the sickest track. It's proper,
yeah.
you
That
know.
place is so good. And it's amazing because like a lot of it is still the same stuff that's been getting raced for like 20 years. It's
Yeah,
insane. And it's still
yeah.
so sick.
It is. It is. It's the track's unreal, and it's
Yeah.
like I feel like this is like what downhill is for me anyway. You know, a
Yeah.
track like that.
The
Um,
high speed stuff out underneath the chairlift it was always so sick. Like just absolutely wide open. Because everyone's watching as well during practice, like anyone in the lifts,
yeah,
so you can't just cruise down there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. They're all. I'm pretty keen to race in Champrey too. I've never raced there, but I
Yeah.
think it's going to be gnarly. Like I rode the track. I just did a day there. Oh, it's that. That was before Litwell,
Yeah.
and it's like so ridden now. You're in a lot of it. You're behind the like down to the rock. So
Yeah,
there's
that's going
no
to
dirt to slow you down.
make it interesting.
So I'm wondering, like, I'm sure they'll do some work or open some new sections or something. But
You'd
I
hope
think
so for
that'll be,
world champs.
yeah, exactly. So and that's almost how you go ride it on the weekend. It's one line. Like
Yeah.
it's so steep that it's like down, berm, berm. Like it's just pretty much catch to catch. But it's
Yeah.
sick place to go ride. So that'll be it's just new place to go race. It's like
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the whiteface track ends up like as well in the US. That could be quite cool. I reckon that'll
Yeah,
be kind of snowshoe-esque, I reckon. Sets, I don't know. Those East Coast tracks are all quite similar to that, so that could be quite a good
yeah,
one.
yeah. So yeah, I've never even been there. This last block's pretty hectic. Like
Yeah,
we got
there's a lot
Lachie,
on.
Champery, a week off, Lenza Hyde, straight to America, US Open.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're doing US Open, so that
Yeah,
throws that in there as well.
yeah. So it's like that last month is 4 weeks of consecutive racing,
Yeah,
which I like
It-
really. It's like
yeah,
it's all good.
it's good. There's nothing worse than sitting around.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Nice. All right. Well, I won't hold you up too long because I'm sure you've got plenty to do tomorrow. Get back into the training block and do some investing learning while you're at it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
No,
it.
that's been awesome. It's been good to catch up, and yeah, good to hear how things are going. And hopefully, this last block of racing, you can deliver on some of that speed that you've been teasing us with.
Cheers, bro. Yeah, hopefully. Fuck. Pull finger out.
Yeah,
Give it, you know?
nah, it'll be good to see. But yeah, best of luck, mate, and thanks again for joining us.
Cheers, bro. Thanks.